love, sex, desire, drama, lovers, and the others. And we talk about it all here on Relationship Rhetoric. Greetings and welcome to Relationship Rhetoric. I'm your host, unapologetically Angela, and on the show today is a guy who I've been stalking now for a while to get on the show because he's such an interesting guy. He's such a man about town. If you've read his bio, he is a public servant. Everything that I've seen about him, every write-up, he's always giving to the community, always has a passion for a cause. And I really
the intro.
George Boyington. And such a nice name. Such a nice name.
Angela, thank you.
Thank you.
Really happy to be here.
Thank you. George, I just want you to just give us a little background about who you are, your upbringing, and how did you end up here? Are you from Memphis?
Born and raised. Lifelong Memphian. Grew up in Southeast Memphis. University of Memphis graduate. Those kind of things.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about childhood and your upbringing.
Oh, goodness. I don't know. I love my parents. Just talking to both of them today. They're still in Memphis. They're still in town. My childhood, it was a bit of a mixed bag. Grew up, it was pretty normal until about age 11. Had some significant health issues, and that kind of set the tone for my adolescence, from 11 on almost to being an adult. Didn't get to go to high school. Some of the cool things that kids used to do, didn't get to do those. But recovered, had a few brain surgeries. Everything's good now. And we go out and we try to do things.
Okay. So were you homeschooled?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
From about 12 through graduation of high school.
Okay. So when you graduated high school, you went straight to University of Memphis?
Straight to.
Okay.
Been doing that ever since.
Okay. So if you don't mind talking about your surgeries and everything, were you having to, how would I put this, reestablish certain things? Because brain surgery can
absolutely
alter.
Could not walk for about 5 years.
Wow.
Now without assistance, then I was gradually getting assistance, went through physical therapy, learned how to do some of those kind of things again. I'm very proud of the fact that you wouldn't necessarily look at me and be able to see that. I have a slight scar right there, but it's kind of good. It's good now. We're good. We're good now.
Absolutely. So when did you become interested in politics? You're a young Democrat and very passionate about politics and policy. When did this come about?
I think I was always interested in public service. My parents, they were career military people. They do other things now, but they did that. Have a few elected officials in my family. My grandfather was a city councilman. Always read about it. The thing I love about politics and public service, no matter what field you're in, no matter what you do, whether it's broadcasting to street sweeping, the government and public service touches on that. So, to have the broadest reach, to have the broadest impact possible, I thought of public service. And
very nice.
What can I help you do in whatever you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
And,
okay, so what would you say was your passion right now? What is driving you? Because, again, if we look at your page, you have so many things. You're an animal lover.
I've got two beautiful dogs, Potato and Paprika.
Potato and Paprika. I love the names. I love that. It's better than Spot and Killer. So I love that. Okay, what kind of dogs are they?
Whatchamacallit? I don't really know.
It's a mixture of dogs? Are they rescues?
Yes, they are, both of them.
Okay.
My ex and I, we found Potato we didn't find him, but he was found in Overton Park,
Okay.
and we met in Overton Park. Ironically enough, at a voter registration drive, so that should kind of tell you where we're going there. But she named him Potato, and Paprika found her on I-240. Saw this dog just walking in the middle of I-240. I'm like, you don't walk on I-240. Stopped in the middle of the car, threw this dog in the trunk, and she named him Paprika, and
So
we've got
y'all
Potato and Paprika.
Pulled the car over and got in the middle of the street and got the dog.
Middle of the freeway.
Middle of the freeway.
It was a little puppy. It was like some weeks old. Like,
Aww.
didn't know what was going on, but, you know, grown dog probably wouldn't be in the freeway, but
Wow. And how long ago was this?
it's been a couple of years now.
Wow. And you still have both of them.
Got Potato and Paprika. Still waiting on that child support check for my ex, but, you know.
This has nothing to do with me if we're talking about who I think we're talking about. Okay.
We're going to go to court soon. Be ready.
So other than an animal lover, what are some passions that drive you? I know you are very sincere and serious about voting and getting people registered to vote.
It's all about having the most impact and doing the most reach, and that's really what drives me. And voting and getting people registered. We're coming up on an election cycle, so that we were talking about that earlier. That's really a huge thing right now. Tennessee's 40th in voter turnout, and I think 42nd in voter registration. We've got to change that.
Wow.
I mean, it's why we are a majority Democratic county, and we have like no Democratic representation. And really working. I believe in the Democratic Party platform. I believe that they're the people who are trying to get us health care. They're people trying to get us jobs. They're the people trying to increase our wages. If you look at that platform, it's all about what to do for people. And if you look at the other side, if you look at the Republicans, it's all about what to do for corporations. And not that I'm against corporations, but I'm for people. So we've got to rise those tides, and if we rise all tides, the boats rise too.
Okay. Okay.
So
are there instances where you go out and speak to people and inform people more about what the Democrats do?
I try to every day. It's like I'm campaigning, but I'm not campaigning for myself. I'm campaigning for this platform that every Democrat stands to represent. It's kind of a, I don't know, like a Jehovah's Witness, but I don't knock on doors. Have you heard the gospel of the Dems? You know, gotta let people know, because even though everybody has an opinion, everybody ostensibly cares about issues, you can't get people to go take 5 minutes out and go to the ballot box for those issues. Like right now, you want a job, but don't you want to support these people who are trying to get you a job? You don't have health insurance, but don't you want to? Then you've got to connect that for people, and that's important to make sure people understand that this is why this is important, and this is why this matters.
Okay. So when you're faced with people who feel like my vote doesn't count or voting doesn't matter, you're going to get in office who they want in office, how do you handle that?
I try to explain that is exactly why your vote doesn't count, because you don't cast it, because you aren't doing it, because they definitely are, and you stayed at home mad. So why not change that paradigm and go out and go cast your ballot, see what happens. Okay. Nothing to lose. It's free.
Okay. Makes sense to me. So talk to me about your, role and service in the gay and lesbian community.
Well, of course, I mean, that's one of my core constituencies, because I am a member of that community. Definitely believe in equal protection under the law. I definitely believe in equal rights, equal pay. You know, in Tennessee, there's a thing called the Morals Clause. Mm-hmm. You are allowed to be denied housing. Mm-hmm. You are allowed to lose your job. Mm-hmm. All these things for being a member of the gay or lesbian community. Certain things I've pushed for years, some successes we've seen. For example, transgender service members. I went to the Young Democrats of America convention and got them to put on the platform a specific way of advocating for transgender members to continue their service. It's been tried in Tennessee. It's been successful in Oregon. The federal court in D.C. recently nullified Trump's decision to disallow transgender members from serving. So that's a positive step forward. some things are happening every day. Transgender persons in Tennessee. Tennessee was the only state that does not allow people to change their birth certificates, but they weren't allowing people to put that on their driver's licenses. That was a long fight. I don't claim that necessarily as my own victory. A lot of people worked on that, but definitely was trying to advocate for that. I've been to the city mayor's office trying to advocate for transgender policies in employment. That's the only thing really municipalities are allowed to do. Every year TEP, and I'm a member of that organization, goes to the state and tries to stop those bad bills and tries to advance policy forward. Try to do these things every day.
So with all that being said, you have a lot of things that you're passionate about, a lot of things that you're speaking up for. How does that affect George and relationships?
Oh, a lot of it is about time. There are only 24 hours in a day. I try to give so much of it to worthwhile endeavors and worthwhile causes, but there are also some worthwhile people that I may not be giving as much time to. Definitely affects my dating life. I am perpetually single because of that, I think. I mean, also I've got some other quirks, but time is one
Gotcha.
huge factor.
You think that's the biggest issue?
I'd say it's a top three.
Top three.
Top three for sure.
What are the other two? If you can say. Or let's give me number two.
Okay, let's see. I'm socially awkward.
Okay, George.
I'm a political nerd, and my time is it's scattered. It's all over the place.
Gotcha. But I'm sure, George, I've had plenty of conversations with you, and you're not so. Well, maybe I'm socially awkward.
No, you're great. You're great.
But I enjoy the conversations that we've had because you're very interesting, and we have great dialogue together.
Same. I've got to. I think I've got to find the right person who can deal with my quirky schedule, who has one too, who may not necessarily have similar interests, but can deal with my interests and the time I put in
Gotcha.
to my passions.
Okay.
I mean, service is paramount. And I feel like legacy is important, and if I drop today, I want to say I've done something, and that's a motivator. And I don't know. I'm not a shut-in, so I meet introverts. I can't date them. If you're dating me, we got to go out.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be with the people. We got to often be in the streets with the people. We got to be marching. We got to be going to.
You are a true politician.
I'm accepting applications. Right guy needs to come along, and we need to talk. Can you put one of those, here's his number at the bottom of the screen kind of things, like.
No, because goodness, who knows who we call. No. Inbox him. How about that?
Slide in my DMs. They're available.
What was the last memorable date you had?
The last memorable date I've had, Zelda Symphony was at the Orpheum, and this gentleman I've been seeing, he wanted to go see that, and we went to go see it. It was an amazing night. Orchestra music, downtown nights. The weather was just right.
Great combination.
It's great. It's great.
So, say somebody wants to get in your DMs.
Get in my DMs at the link on the screen below.
What do they need to know as far as, you said you don't deal with the introverts because you got to get out, blah, 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 blah. What is something else about George as far as a relationship is concerned that they need to know?
That's a good question. I need time to think about that.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
So, on the flip side of that, what is something other than being the
I
introvert?
think they'll find out.
Other than being the introvert that you won't tolerate from?
It's not that I won't tolerate it. It's that we would never spend any time together. I'm out a lot. Whether it be at functions, events, just I'm not a homebody either. So in my personal time, which I don't have a ton of, but in my personal time, I'm not really just in the house. So some people are about their life though, and
And that's okay.
I appreciate them.
That's okay.
We need
Just
them.
Not for just not for you. Okay, so what advice would you give someone who is as busy as you, but still has space in their heart for a partner?
Try to balance your time, and definitely make sure that you are giving enough of it to that special someone, because otherwise you will not have that special someone.
Do you have lonely moments?
I do. But well, there's no but. I do. Don't we all?
Yeah, I agree. Do you find yourself
Going into all the in there, you just.
Yeah, I'm just now. Do you find yourself filling those spaces with community service and other outlets?
I'm never truly alone, but I mean, you do want a partner and someone to share those moments with, those successes. Like when you really get something done, you want to go home and be like, "Hey, look, we just did a thing. It was a great thing." But you go home, you tell your dogs about it, and they just look at you like, "Feed me now."
Okay.
And they're the dogs that your ex still hasn't paid child support. By the way, if you go to the PayPal link below, X, you can child support these 2 dogs.
I have nothing.
There's no link.
He gave me a disclaimer that he was going to be dropping these nuggets, X. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing. So last question. If you could give me a book title to your life, what would it be?
Oh, that's an amazing question. The Life and Works of George Boyington.
I was thinking that. I was going to say the George Boyington story, but I like that. You're very
It's all about
interesting.
life and works.
Absolutely. Thank you, George. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
See, this was painless, and we just had conversation.
We did.
We did.
This was great. I gotta be back. Gotta come back.
Yes, when we find the person.
Oh no, when yes,
That would be interesting.
they should come too.
They should come too. That would be interesting. Our notion for today is every day you have an opportunity to do something to impact the community. Try it. I'm your host, Unapologetically Angela. Peace, love, and enlightenment.
Peace.
Love, sex, desire, drama, lovers, and the others. And we talk about it all here on Relationship